Getting married to a mermaid can be very, very scary. Like some people will not understand this until you have found yourself in that shoe. This is a true life story. This man got married and okay, he came back to his hometown for his friend's wedding, and then his godfather had seen a wife for him, and asked him to marry her before leaving, and they had met even before he traveled to the UK. So when he came back for that wedding, the godfather asked him or advised him to marry her before leaving. And while he was outside the country, he had gotten himself into one marriage for him to just get papers, which people will usually do. And immediately he got married. He came home and got married to this lady. He began to face a lot of challenges, a lot. It started with when he was about to go back. They held him down in Abuja. He couldn't go. As God will have it, his godfather was coming to Abuja also to do something and was wondering, why are you still in Abuja? What's going on? And why haven't you left since? And you didn't even call to tell us what's going on. He said because he didn't want to disturb his godfather. That was how the godfather immediately swung into action, went to see different people in charge. And when they called the visa office, they said the woman that carried the papers could not find where she kept those papers. So the minister immediately asked the woman to quickly, provide those papers, and they couldn't find the papers. This thing took a longer time and all. They needed him to come back. He came back. They asked him to come back on a Wednesday. She came back on that Wednesday. The godfather had seen the minister in charge, so everything became very fast now. But you can imagine that the delayed his traveling for almost 2 weeks, and he was in Abuja but did not say a word to his godfather. So when he eventually traveled back, and he started facing very serious attacks, meaning that the lady was not just a mermaid, she was also a ghost. Like she was not just a mermaid, she also had dealings with a ghost. So she, according to what I heard, she did not know that she had these spiritual issues. So the guy now, said she should come and visit. I think she came and visited. When she came to visit, it became worse. She went back. Before she came back to stay with him, to stay with him forever, since they were married. So he had so many attacks. He will every night you see himself by the river, a man fighting him by the river. They'll see a big ocean. The man will stand by the ocean and calling his name, that he should leave his wife alone. He should leave his wife alone, that is his wife, that he has paid her bride price when she was 6 years, that he cannot come and take his wife. And the whole thing was so bad that he started calling pastors to pray with him. While he was there, another man from his village now started, doing incantations. He will stay in that place in the UK, and the man will be shouting his name. And when the man comes and shouts his name, you see somebody knock on their door in the UK, and the person will be shouting his name. He will now come out. He won't see anybody. The person will not be telling him. It's just I don't want to mention his name in case he comes across this video. The person will not be calling his name. Come out. Come back to Nigeria. You will come back. As if the person was doing incantation. You must come back to Nigeria. You must come back to Nigeria. That kind of a thing. And he will now be saying, no, he cannot come back to Nigeria. The man should stay away from him. He cannot come back to Nigeria. All those, he was facing so many battles. So his wife, when he woke up one day, he called the wife and said, what's going on? What is it that you have gotten yourself into that you have not really been delivered of, so that we'll know if we'll go to a particular church so that they can do deliverance for you? She says she doesn't know anything. She does not have any dealings with any spiritual whatever. She's not aware. So the next time, what he saw was that he was sitting in his living room in the UK, and he saw a snake coming to him. The snake came to him direct, and when he ran away. The snake kept appearing. The thing is, he was the only one seeing the snake. The people around were not seeing the snake. Every job he did so well. Even in the masters he went to do his master's degree, he did so well. But when because of this marriage he did, immediately they took back his scholarship. He was no longer on scholarship, so he needed to now work and pay bills and also pay for his school fee. So this thing became so bad that he didn't know what to do. He spoke with some friends, some family members, and they also did not know how to help him. He bought all these big trucks, so we call it tipper in our local parlance. He brought them, sent them to Lagos, I think about 3 or 4. And when they got here, they were to, use them for commercial purpose, where you help people convey sand to building sites and they will pay. Immediately, those tippers packed up for no reason. New tippers packed up. And then in those days, you bought it, I think about 20 million each, all packed up. Every business he sent money down to Nigeria that was doing well, everything ceased. He could no longer find himself. So after she relocated, I met him in the UK. He now did not get a job. Nobody agreed to employ him. It was so bad that they started living from hand to mouth. She now started, bidding, doing some other menial things to support. It was not adding up. They were going down. Everything was going down. So the man would come in the dream and tell him that if he doesn't leave his wife alone, that he will live a miserable life. He will live a miserable life. That life will never be good for him. That he should leave his wife alone. So he now booked a ticket and came to Lagos. He came to Lagos, and I think in the Redeem camp, he got there for prayers. He got there, they prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. So they now told him that he should bring his wife. And you know that it was not easy for him to pay ticket for 2 of them to come down to Nigeria. So they prayed and prayed and prayed. It was a serious battle. So while they were praying, the other man that is always calling him to come back, they got the story that the guy fell into gutter after drinking so much and died. And since that guy died, he never had that spiritual of him, the person calling him back. So this whole thing happened that all his businesses in Nigeria crumbled. Abroad, nothing was working. So people around him began to advise him to come back, that he should come back to Nigeria. He can start all over again. He should not worry how people will be laughing at him or anything. He should just come back. After he has stayed for so many years in the UK, he should just come back. He should not worry, because a lot of people don't like coming back because of people laughing at them. So he came back. His wife also came back, and they went for deliverance. They went and did thorough deliverance. That was when the wife was able to take him and give birth. So they prayed, they did deliverance, and things started becoming good for them. He was able to build a house in Nigeria. Things became good for them. He was able to support family members. In Nigeria, he prospered. But he started feeling like going back again to the UK because of how the Nigeria economy started going. And each time he tried to go back, it will not work. Each time he tries to go back, it will not work. And even though he has been delivered, and the wife's spiritual husband had been the older ghost, the mermaid, they have made her to be a mermaid that she didn't even know about, that she's a mermaid, and she had a spiritual husband. The spiritual husband he was not coming in form of snakes again. Once in a while, he'll come in the dream and remind him that he's marrying his wife. He should return his wife, and they will get up, pray and all. Until now, they are still married. He has not divorced her, because there was a time he was contemplating to leaving her because he felt that he has fought too many battles. So the bottom line in all of this is, before you marry anybody, do your spiritual checks, pray about it, and be sure that God is leading you to marry this person. Because a lot of people are in marriages and they are suffering, and nobody is able to understand. Imagine that when they tried to deport him, he actually went through that deportation and nobody came through to his aid. It would have been a big blow, a shame, but they did not deport him again. Prayers handled the situation. So before you get married, men or women, check it spiritually.